It's time to get down on Friday.
It's time to get down on Friday.
Fun. Looking forward to the weekend.
Who would have thought when she made that awful song like 5 years ago, that would have just been ingrained in our minds forever?
It's just that the luck of the draw. I mean, in the 70s, there was a song called Disco Duck, and they said, hey, instead of this being completely fucking stupid, we're going to love this song and play it on the radio station. There's a lot of songs that don't mean to be as big as they are, and then they were.
And I feel that's one of my goals in life. If I could just have one-hit wonder. Just one. Something you'll play in stadiums all the time, or just anytime you think of a movie or something, they'll play my song, and I will get paid for the rest of my life.
Have you ever made a song?
No, I haven't.
Well, that's the thing. She may have never made a song, but she had rich white people money that was like, hey, for your 16th birthday or whatever, how old she turned, we're going to make a music video for you with you and your friends. And they paid this weird producer dude who is just kind of creepy a little bit. And then now she has all this money.
Creepy ass video.
I mean, he wasn't bad in that video necessarily, but you know how that producer got a bunch of big, viral marketing. And so there was another one that was like, I love
the Chinese food one?
Oh, man. And he was in a panda costume around a bunch of little fucking 11-year-olds. I'm like, dude, you need to stop.
It was funny because it was all like, all right, the first one, I was creepy. I'm going to step it up and be racist and creepy.
Right. Isn't he eating chopsticks, Chinese food out of calling people Korean when they're Japanese, but eating Chinese food? It's a really racist thing.
Oh, it was awful. Some of the things you just get away with. It was a black dude, so it was kind of like, did he get a free pass or no? Or it was just...
culturally...
If a white dude was doing it, would it be even worse? Or...
the thing is, it's also it's triple racist, because the only reason why those little white girls are allowed to be around that black dude is, one, he's light skinned, two, he's got big smile and big ears, and so he seems non-threatening. It's this is research I read where it's that's a part of the gender identity, is black people are less scary if they have big smiles and big ears. Hence Barack Obama. Yeah, hence Barack Obama, hence Will Smith, and hence Eddie Murphy.
The trend with Wayne Brady, though.
Wayne Brady,
Brady's a dark brother.
White people love Wayne Brady because he makes Bryant Gumbel look like Malcolm X. I'm just saying. I mean, it sounds silly and it sounds stupid, but why do you think people get all mad about Idris Elba, one of the best actors in the world, playing James Bond? Because he's a big, scary black dude. But had he had some big ears and a smile, they're like, he might be a good James Bond.
That's true. But the ladies love Idris, though. Ladies love Idris.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying. But then again, that goes to the other part of the racism, which is hey, he's the Mandingo and, big, strong black dude. There's history behind that, too. I mean, it's all fucked up, man. How do I know your history better than you do, man? Come on.
Because here's the thing. Because that's African-American history. I'm just African.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're just straight up African. Man,
exactly. People
are going to mistake you, man. You got to learn your shit.
I get it. I'm African. You're Mexican. And that's how we kick off the What If podcast. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to you tonight with my co-host this week, the one, the only, the Mexcellence. Say hey to everybody.
Hey, everybody. Sammy Gonzalez here, a.k.a. the Mexcellence. And I didn't even know we were starting. I just assuming we were. Thank you for the countdown and thank you for the heads up.
And that's what I do. That's how I hook you in, man. So, Sammy, I know you're known worldwide, of course. But
worldwide.
For those few that listen to my podcast who might not know who you are, please lay it down for the people who you are, what you do, and what you're about.
So I am not world famous, but I am Sammy Gonzalez, born and raised Fresno.
Say that at the upcoming party coming up. There's some people from Australia and Europe who know who you are, Sammy. So,
what part are you
world famous?
What party are you talking about? Let me clarify for him. So I'm with a company called DoubleToasted.com. If you've never heard of it, you might have if you're listening to this podcast. But I am a participant. I am a producer on the show. I have my own show called Sammy Ain't Seen Shit, which is a movie review show which I review old movies I've never seen, with the caveat that I went to school and graduated with a degree in film and media studies from the University of California, Santa Barbara. So yeah,
Go Gauchos.
that's a little bit of Go Gauchos. That's about me. Born and raised Fresno, California. That's going to be relevant to this conversation we're going to have today. And yeah, I'm 6'4", like long walks on the beach, and don't like to be called Poppy. I guess that's MVP. Also, fun fact, size 16 shoes. Do that which you will. I was going to say ladies, but I'm imagining no ladies listen to this podcast. If you do, leave a comment. If you do, leave a comment down below, and tell me what they say about guys with big feet.
Yeah, they have to buy big shoes. That's what it is.
No, huge penises is what they say.
That's huh. That actually makes a lot of sense.
That's a bait and switch. I bait and switched the reversal of the original joke by saying the original joke.
Oh, wow.
You're welcome, audience. But anyway.
Thanks, Sammy. Wow. I mean, you said you're from California, which is again one of the great reasons I brought you onto this podcast.
Wait a minute, why are you getting all stuttery after I said I have a huge penis? That's weird. Could you not be flustered by me saying that?
No, I'm not getting stuttery saying that you have a huge penis. What I am saying is that you're probably lying, which we do a lot of lying on this show.
Oh, that is true. That is true. I hear and I've heard half of one of your podcasts, and you do lie.
Wow. Okay, hold on. So now we have to go back to the tape. Now, you heard a podcast. What lying or 4 truths did you say that I was not telling?
I wasn't paying attention that closely. I'm just assuming that that's what happened there. And, yeah.
Which one did you listen to, though?
I listened to the one with Mr. McGrew.
Tommy.
Curious minds got the best of me, and I was like, what's going on here?
And that was actually one of my highest listened ones, was that one when I brought back Tommy.
And I was actually in California when I was listening to that, which was even weirder. That's why
really?
I was at home, and I was just like, wait a minute, let me see how this guy is. And then I listened for a bit, and then I forgot about it. So
me and Tommy, that was honestly one of my longer podcasts. It was like an hour and 45 minutes. That was we went into it. And honestly, I feel that me and Tommy should get credit for Wonder Woman doing well, putting the DC universe back on track. You're welcome, world.
Single-handedly by yourself, no help, and of course it would be black man taking responsibility for a white woman's job. Wait, that's not how racism works. Never mind.
Hey, wow, it could be. Sammy, I see you and your shows. Awesome shows. Everyone should go see them. They're the best shows, the greatest shows. Awesome.
On YouTube. They're the best. They're available.
DoubleTwist.com. Always see you wearing that number 4 jersey. And
man,
I gotta bring it up, man.
Just why you bring that up first of all?
I gotta bring up that you're a Raiders fan, as me being a Texan fan, of course, ride or die. So
yes,
your Raiders have been, I would guess, busy at the bank this offseason, and also busy at the probably moving company in a few seasons. But so I have to get your take on this, man. So it happened. Other things happened. Tell me about the Raiders, man. What's going on with them?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna go off with me saying that you saying that I'm wearing this number 4 jersey all the time. Motherfucker on YouTube was like, yeah, this motherfucker wears the same jersey over the time. No, I have 2 jerseys. Charles Woodson, number 24, and number 4, Derek Carr. Derek Carr being from my hometown, playing for my hometown, the Fresno State Bulldogs. But the state of the Raiders. We've been saving a lot of money by not really investing into our defensive backfield. We had an amazing draft 3 years ago and a couple mediocre ones in the middle in between there, where that one draft we have our starting guard, our starting quarterback, and our Pro Bowl in 2 position linebacker Khalil Mack. So now we got to give him big contracts. Derek Carr, being the holy man that he is, took essentially a tapered off contract so he can get the other guys on the team signed that are going to be of value to him and to make a hard Super Bowl run. One of those people being, including Marshawn Lynch, who probably does have the full 2 years in his tank left, but he's just going to soften up the middle while running back Jalen Richard, undrafted free agent from last year, tore it up. He was averaging like 5.4 yards a carry, and then what was his name? DeAndre Washington, our other backup running back. We have a real deep
speedy one, right? He was like the 3rd down back.
Yeah, he was pretty much north-south speed, and then Jalen Richard was shifty, Darren Sproles-esque type speed, and then Latavius Murray was just fucking awful, but he had a great offensive line. Yeah. And so now that Marshawn Lynch has a great offensive line, it's gonna be soften up the middle, make the linebackers nice and squishy, and then hey, try to catch this little fast guy, and that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun times for everyone.
Whenever I think of the Raiders, especially Derek Carr, it brings me back to. Have you ever seen Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story?
Of course, one of my favorite movies.
Okay, so remember when the father always says, the wrong brother died?
The wrong
I
kid
feel that way
died.
as a Texan then. As a Texan.
And you had your shot, Texan. You had your shot, and you're like, no, I don't want him. He has the same last name as a guy, ignoring the fact that that motherfucker learned from the time he was 12 years old, when his older brother played for the Texans, David Carr. He learned since he was 12 years old how to read defenses and how to be an NFL quarterback.
Listen, Sammy, you're not wrong.
And not to get sacked 70 times in a season, 72 times in a season.
Sammy, you're not wrong.
Of course I'm not.
But those scars run deep. Saying the word car in this town is like spitting in someone's face and saying, go fuck your mom. It really is. It's like a cuss word here.
Man, but that fuck your mom took us to the playoffs for the first time in 11 years.
Just
and you guys made it. And you guys made it with was it?
We don't speak his name.
With
we
Jay
call him
Schroeder.
we call him QB17. We don't speak his name.
Was it Jay Schroeder? What kind of weak ass third tier '90s quarterback name is it again?
I just
Dante Culpepper. What is it? What is it? Who is he again?
What on the Texans?
Yeah, I forget his name. I literally
we don't speak his name on this podcast.
I'll look it up. God damn it.
We just call him QB17. We don't speak his name on this podcast.
It depends. You had two quarterbacks at some point. I don't know what the fuck is going. Tom Savage.
Tom Savage. Well,
or Brandon Whedon or Deshaun Watson. I don't know.
No, that's now. That's after what happened. Everything.
2016. Let's look that up.
No. But
Brock Osweiler. All right.
Don't say his.
Brock Osweiler, aka the knockoff fucking Edward Cullen. Got it.
I will say that
sparkles in the light.
Brock Osweiler and the Houston Texans did make NFL history because it was the first time ever in NFL history that an actual salary dump trade was made.
Yep.
It's like that. How bad are you when your franchise says, "Listen, I don't want you so bad. I'm going to give away a second round pick to get rid of you."
You know what? He could be that bad, but his agent is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
He has like $17 million for working like half a year. It's fantastic.
Man. It's true.
You guys got highway robbed. It was the funniest shit in the world to me.
Let me tell you right now, Brock Osweiler and Ryan Fitzpatrick should just join the Ocean's 11 crew because they pretty much heisted two franchises. It was a heist. Really.
Man, I'm still waiting for what's his name. Who's the quarterback for the Redskins? Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins ain't that good. Like, he's good. He's solid, but he ain't that good. And like, we're gonna give him the biggest contract in history. I'm like, why?
Well,
why are you doing that?
You do realize the Redskins GM before the season ended, like after the season ended, he quit because apparently he had alcohol problems. He was like an alcoholic. So that might explain a lot with how they're handling Kirk Cousins. And now that they like don't have a GM or they have like a GM by committee, they're still paying him like $30 million a year on this like double franchise tag. So
and they're like, we're gonna pay him more, and even he's like, I don't want to be with the Redskins for the rest of my career. I don't care how much money you fucking give me. But then again, they're not gonna take anybody else. Colin Kaepernick's just sitting on the bench like, I can play, and like, no, shut up, Colin. Just shut up.
The Redskins are so bad that he said, I'd rather go to the Niners right now than stay here. And you're just like, ugh.
Well, the weather's better. I mean, I can believe that. I mean,
the weather's better.
Was Washington State? Washington Redskins, Washington State or DC?
No, it was Washington DC.
So fuck yeah. During the fall, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
San Francisco, California.
Better. It's not racist as fuck. The name is just but
get to wear gold pants.
Know, man. I don't know, but it's just so okay. So the Raiders right now, they're in Oakland for the next 2 seasons till they move to Sin City. How did you feel when that move was made, man?
Not too big of a deal. Vegas from my hometown is not that much further. It's about 3 hours further, but you can actually take a flight there for like $70 there and back, and then the tickets are probably about $100, so about $200. You can get yourself a flight there and back. Only downside is that you just have to do it, and you can't just drive up as easily as you would. But then again, I could anyway.
So you went back to Fresno since they made the move and stuff like that. How is everyone there taking it? Are they just like meh? Are they upset? Because this has been dragging on for like 5 years now. Well,
the only people that really are upset are the people of Oakland because for some reason they're like, no, we don't want to subsidize your giant NFL thing. So like, okay, we're gonna leave. Wait, why are you leaving? Because you won't give us any money for a new stadium that's falling apart that we have to share with the fucking Oakland A's. And they decide to be good sometimes, and so they got to play the first 4 games on infield. And then that hurts because playing on infield fucking hurts. And so that's no fun. That's not even up to standards. Coliseum, I love it to death. I've been there a bunch of times. But that shit is ratty, it's old. And so
it is.
And so now, you get what Al Davis always wanted, which when he went to LA the first time, he was like, I want a new stadium. And they never gave him his fucking stadium. So he goes, okay, I'm going back to Oakland. And so what's going to happen is we're going to go to Vegas for 20 years with our new stadium. And we're going to be like, you know what? Let's go back to Oakland. Oakland's going to give us a new stadium. Or somewhere between San Francisco and Oakland, and we'll still call themselves the Oakland Raiders, and they'll go back. That's what the Davis family does. They don't give a shit. They're just like, we want a new stadium. Okay, we got one. This is going to be nice. And then once they realize Vegas is fucking hot and spring training is not as fun when it's not done in Napa Valley, then they're going to be like, yeah, okay, I'm done with this. I got our stadium. Let's go get a bigger stadium and go from there.
I don't know, man, because the stadium they have rendered up, it's like a dome stadium. It looks pretty sweet. And I mean, once they get a taste of Vegas, I think it's over, dude.
No, what's going to happen? What's going to happen is they're going to be like, okay, well, we're going to be good for the next, let's say 7 years, 8 years. And then at a certain point, like all teams do, let's hope not. Let's hope it's not that quick. They're going to get bad again. And there's two cities that hate fucking losers, and that's Los Angeles and Vegas. And so the people aren't going to go to the games. And so you're going to have this expensive-ass stadium, and they're not going to be able to sell enough tickets. So they got to be able to move to somewhere where they're going to sell tickets, which would be Oakland or someplace in California. And so what's going to happen is the fucking XFL, when they come back, or the AFL or some fucking other bullshit, they're going to have a really fucking nice stadium in Vegas. That's all that's going to happen.
Why you got to bring up old shit like the XFL, man?
I'm just saying, man. What's
he hate me? He hate me?
Of course he hate me. Yeah. What was I gonna say? That there was what school is in there? In Vegas.
UNLV, the Rebels.
Yeah, UNLV's gonna have a nice fucking stadium in about 20, 15 years. So.
Man, first of all, let me tell you this right now. First, they're not gonna move back because I'm gonna tell you the reasons why they aren't gonna move back. First off, they're gonna move to Vegas. They're going to build a $1 billion stadium, probably $2 billion stadium there. You do not build a $2 billion stadium with Vegas taxpayer money and then leave like 20 years later. You don't do that.
I mean,
unless another team is going to move there, which it could, probably not though.
Chargers are going to move there because the LA is going to kick them out in the first 3 seasons. Right? Like, hand to God, if they make it 10 years... If they make it 10 years, I'll wear a fucking Charger hat for a day. If they make it 10 years in LA.
If the Oakland makes 10 years in Vegas, you'll wear a Charger hat?
No. I'm saying if the Chargers make it 10 years in LA, because honestly, like I said, a city that hates losers more than Vegas would be LA, and LA, like they do not look at the Lakers. The Lakers were the darlings for decades, and now they kind of suck for a little bit. And no one's going to their games. Like everyone's a Clippers fan for some fucking reason. No one was a Clippers fan before the year 2008, so. It's just,
except Billy Crystal. He was always a Clippers fan.
Yeah, and fuck him, all right? That's it.
Sammy, what did Billy Crystal do to you?
That's like Danny Tanner being the only Golden State Warrior in the 90s. The only Golden State Warrior fan in the 90s.
Damn.
He had the tracksuit and everything. That's because he was San Francisco proud. I fuck with Danny Tanner. Billy Crystal, I don't give a shit.
I think it's less of the fans that's gonna keep the Raiders in Las Vegas. I think it's just more the NFL because they're with a new stadium, of course, comes a Super Bowl. There's going to be a Super Bowl in Vegas. They're probably going to love said Super Bowl in Vegas. And it's just such a huge money maker for them to have it. They're probably just going to keep it in Las Vegas. Not to mention, I feel that there are going to be a lot of tourists that come to like Raider games. Like, oh, we're in Vegas for the weekend. We'll take a Raider game and then we'll go to the Strip and stuff like that. I feel that might happen a lot as well.
But the thing is, they also got to compete with all the nightly shows, all the nightly concerts, all the other sporting events in boxing. Heaven forbid they have a Sunday night boxing match with Canelo Alvarez or something.
And I feel that the NFL has enough pull that when they do scheduling, they'll say, hey guys, listen, we're going to have a game this night. Don't have anything type of thing.
But also, then again, just remember, it's going to be easier for other people to get flights to Vegas because the shit's cheaper. So let's say, let's just say I am an Eagles fan and I live in California. Instead of being able to fly out to Philadelphia, it's like, oh, I live in fucking Arizona. Oh, I live in fucking North Dakota. It's a $70 flight, a $90 flight to Vegas there and back. Yeah, I'm going to go watch my team play in Vegas. Fuck that shit. Exactly. And there you go. And so we're not gonna have home field advantage. That's
the thing. That's what I'm thinking. Like it's gonna be like Cowboy. It's gonna be like Cowboy Stadium. Right now. Yeah, the only thing right now that is helping us is the fact that San Diego is moving to Los Angeles, and that's pretty much another home game for us because the NFL is fucking us over because they keep sending us to Mexico and London and taking away our home games. It's been like 4 years in a row. It's like give us a fucking home game. Don't have a shitty stadium.
I don't care if it's a shitty stadium. The fucking Patriots are like, yeah, we got to play the Patriots in Mexico City. It's not fun to play in 100,000 feet above sea level, fucking 2.5 miles up.
Last year.
And so hopefully we kick their asses in fucking Estadio Azteca and have Tom Brady fucking deflating the balls properly because obviously air pressure is higher.
Loves the Raiders though, man.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And the Patriots are the fucking White Devils that want to build the wall, so it's actually gonna be a fucking home field game because we played.
After they're in Vegas for 10 years, they'll move to Mexico City. Boom. Yeah, Mexico City Raiders.
Because we played the Texans there, and it's like, oh yeah, there's those weird Mexicans that like Texans for some fucking reason.
Wait, what?
but it was mostly a home game, and then like the guys didn't step out of bounds, and they called it out of bounds, and so I was like, okay, they got fucking officials rigged for the Raiders here in Mexico. I fucking love this.
Man, that game was
it's a lot better than what they got going on for us. Where we have the most penalties because we wear the color black. It's a psychological thing. Look it up.
You guys, it's not that. It's because you're undisciplined as fuck.
Look it up.
And I'm looking at this shit. I've seen Raider games, Sammy. I watch Raider games. When you guys were bad, you were bad because you could get shit right.
No, I understand that, but how are we going to be a playoff team and still have like the second most penalties? It's because we were black. We're associated with negative. The color black is an American sub-psychological thing where you see more negative with that. Pay attention. But that makes the most sense.
You do, but that's part of the Raiders' mystique, dude. That's part of the Raiders' mystique. They're the bad boys. They're the bad boys in the NFL. And I find ironic considering that Derek Carr's a hardcore Christian. But hey, you guys roll with that.
No, but that's the thing. I mean, it'd be one thing if we were like pass interference and late hitting people. That'd be fucking awesome. No, it's like we're kind of tugging on a jersey. It's like 15-yard pass interference. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Oh, you breathed on the fucking white quarterback. 20-yard penalty. They don't even have 20-yard penalties. Fuck it, he's white. Khalil Mack's black.
Fucking he's white.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't want to hear that shit.
I do, but you guys can make up for it with that offense, though.
Like false starts, that's obvious. But like holding penalties and shit, it's like everyone holds
every game.
We have the biggest offensive line. Why do they need to hold? They're just gonna beat the shit out of you anyway. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, but those D linemen are shifty as fuck.
Oh, man. Don't matter if you have a 350-pound guy with the footwork of a fucking ballerina slugging into you. Look up Kalichi Osamele. He's fucking a monster.
Yeah, that's
look him up.
My fellow Igbo brethren. Yeah, I know about Kelechi. I know about him. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, Sammy, got the line, got the QB, got the team. They've got like what, 4 teams in California now? 4? Yeah. As of right now.
3: the Niners, the Raiders, the Chargers,
and the Rams.
I don't give a shit about them.
Exactly.
I forgot they existed.
That's why I said 4 teams.
I literally forgot. Yeah, that's another thing.
And halfway through the season, LA forgot they existed too.
Hold on. What division are the Rams in?
The NFC West.
Dude, if we play the NFC West, that means we have 2 extra home games.
Probably. I think you play the NFC West this year. I think you do.
Potentially. I don't think we play them there though. But
yeah.
but either way, I mean, are you kidding me? If we have to place LA Rams and the LA Chargers, that's 2 extra home games.
Yeah, I get it, Sammy. You own the state of California. La-di-da.
Especially since the fucking Niners bandwagon is falling apart at the fucking seams. Well, that's so great. That's so fucking
tanking
great.
for the QBs next year. That's pretty much what they're doing.
Oh my god. It's so nice to see the fucking... Oh man, Niners, we're the dynasty. We're the greatest. And people who are hardcore Niners fan. Colin Kaepernick's going to take us to the promised land. And then they try to cheat during the Super Bowl. That didn't happen. And they just fucking ruined everything somehow. They got that new stadium that has no fucking tailgating whatsoever. The seats
are you serious? They can't tailgate?
No, they can tailgate. It's just super expensive to do so.
Oh, well, it's Silicon Valley, man. They got that tech money.
Exactly, but tech money isn't going to watch fucking football games, especially shitty football games.
True. That's very true.
Yeah, and so I'm watching them collapse with their fucking... They didn't position the stadium right, so it's always in fucking direct sunlight unless it's overcast, which in San Francisco, it's not fucking overcast because it's San Francisco, one of the most beautiful places in the earth. How do you fuck that up?
With all that, yeah.
And how do you not make a fucking hybrid stadium? If you're going to make a stadium, make it hybrid. Make it a dome that can collapse. I mean, I get it costs a little more money, but Jesus Christ.
Well, the reason they did that is because it's usually weather-wise, they usually don't have to worry about that. Usually with a lot of dome stadiums, it's either extreme cold or extreme heat, like in Houston.
Global warming is going to exist, so...
Well, if that's the case, the stadium's going to be underwater. It's by the bay.
Actually, no, it's in Santa Clara, so... No, yeah, one of those places. I don't know.
Yeah, it's in south of the bay, but still, when you say with global warming, the whole...
It's like 40 minutes outside of San Francisco, because that makes sense.
Well, you tell the Cowboys the same thing. Their stadium's in Arlington. You get to call the Dallas Cowboys.
Man, that's fucking close enough. Okay. By the way, I went to my friend lives in Dallas, and she was telling me about that was a whole drama. She was telling me like, yeah, this person lives in Arlington. Don't say she lives in Dallas because they'll argue. I'm like, it's literally 20 minutes apart. Shut the fuck up. Dallas is in Fort Worth. I don't give a shit. It's all the same. Arlington, Fort Worth, Dallas are all the same fucking city.
Is it the DFW? They're all the same city.
They
kind of are, man. They kind of are. That's like saying I don't know. That's like saying Georgetown is Austin. It's not.
I don't give a shit. I don't even know what that is because I'm not from here. But you know what?
But Sammy,
yes,
you are from California. You're a California boy.
Yes, I am.
You don't really, surf or have blonde hair or anything like that. But you are from California.
I lived by the beach for 7 years. I'm pretty sure it counts.
Yeah, true.
I lived a minute walk from the ocean for like a year, and like a 5-minute walk for the rest of the year. Yeah. I was there, so.
Oh, true. And as from being from California, I brought you in because you are my Californian expert, the one California expert I do know. Okay. And because of that, I thought it would be interesting because of everything that's going on in the world, with Agent Orange in office, with the European Union or the UK, part of the European Union, losing its damn mind, having Brexit. And when Obama was in office for 8 years, the state you're in right now, for some stupid reason, kept saying, we should secede.
And they should have. They had their chance and they blew it. You rat bastards.
The shoe is on the other foot, though. And there's some grumblings. I even think there's like a graphic novel or something like that about something they like to call the Cal-exit. Basically, with California looking to leave the great United States of America. So with this week...
Wait, are you going to stick with that, being called the great United States of America? Well, are you going to stick with that phrasing on that one?
You know what? Live in Nigeria for 3 years, then come back and come talk to me, buddy.
Live in where?
Nigeria for 3 years, then come and talk to me.
Hey, man, I heard there's lots of princes that only need $20 to unlock their fortunes.
Yeah, and there are also people that pull you over and chop off your arms and legs with machetes solely for your car, so...
I mean, you just give them the car. Why are you putting up a fight for?
Well, even if you do give them the car, they will kill you because they don't want any witnesses. So,
Oh, well, Texas, they're about to allow samurai swords to be carried at all times. So that's there.
That's true.
That's real legislation. That is real legislation, folks.
But usually the people carrying the said samurai swords are probably guys that are nerds and don't want to use it and probably will cut themselves in the process. Like
the Nigerians. But anyway.
Exactly. So because of that... I was thinking to myself, it'd be an interesting scenario to say, what if California actually went through with it and seceded from the U.S.?
Man, when the whole election happened, literally everybody in my family from California was like, so, are we just gonna fucking do it already? Because I mean, it's not unheard of. I mean, it is unheard of because it's fucking treason technically to the United States. But
it happened before. It had a little war, a little skirmish.
Yeah, but Californians think about it all the time because we think of like all the things that we produce, all the things that we have, monetarily, agriculturally, resource-wise, and it would be fucking easy for us to do it. It would be so easy, and I'm not saying legislation-wise. I'm not saying like that shit's with politicians. They're gonna make that stuff here and there. I'm not gonna be able to do that. But if you were able to, like, all right, fine, clean break, you're on your own. It wouldn't take that long for us to figure it out. It really wouldn't.
So basically, becoming a nation on your own, you think it would be that easy to
become Fun fact, we are the 5th largest economy by ourselves in the world.
Yeah, okay.
We're like behind France or some shit. Let me look that up. Let me get that. Go ahead and talk while I look that up.
I think it was 5th or 6th. But usually, the process it usually goes through for secession is one of 3 things. You can either A, have ask nicely, ask the U.S. government saying, hey, can we be our own state? Or be our own country? And the government usually says, no, you have to be a state, shut up. You can B, actually have a ratification, which basically means like 3/4 of the states of the United States and like 2/3 of Congress have to agree to let you go. Or B, you do what we did back in the 1860s and just have a war and just like say, you know what, fuck it, just leave.
Right.
Kind of thing. One of the 3 things. So if you do one of those three things, let's just say that, you know, the U.S. is like, you know what, California, I'm tired of your shit and all the fucking crazy shit you do. Just leave.
You fucking hippie liberals, you fucking cucks.
Exactly. It's just
Starbucks cuckery. I'm tired of it.
And they were like, we're just going to cut you out. The San Andreas Fault's going to have you sink into the ocean anyways. We're just going to give it a kickstart and just leave.
At the very least, I'd cut off the not San Andreas Fault, but the Sierra Nevada mountains. That's a clean cut. Okay, it's a mountain range.
Yep.
Everything to the west of the mountain range is fine, which includes my hometown, which is right in the middle of it. But I mean, I would probably vote for. I mean, like I said, if you want to build a wall, motherfuckers, we're gonna build a wall. We'll build a wall around California. Arizona and that fucking godforsaken place can go fuck itself. Oh yeah, we got to travel 700 miles through the desert to get to the fucking border wall to begin with. Okay, that's that. Mexico's cool. Mexico likes us, and we let people come in through Mexico all the time, so we're cool there. We'd probably invite, if we're really being smart about it, we'd invite Oregon and Washington just so we can control the fucking coast. Like
Nah, brah. The U.S. says you leave Washington, Oregon. You leave them alone.
No, I'm saying Oregon and Washington would be like, hey, can we come too? We don't want to deal with that motherfucker anyway. They're the biggest hippies out of all of us.
True, very true. But
they got like fucking Starbucks and like Starbucks.
But very true. But they're actually hippies that like say what they or do what they say, though. That's the thing. Because a lot of the times in California, it's a lot of like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, yet they don't actually do anything.
Like,
it's a lot of like talk, like gay marriage, marijuana. Those are the two big ones.
It's just because we have a lot of fucking Republican people where I'm from, in the middle of California, that don't have access to fucking to people. Like, they just live in bumfuck cities.
Like Eastern California is like red. Like, I've seen the county and like the demographics and everything. Pretty much, if you're not in like the major city, San Diego, not even San Diego, LA, San Francisco, and LA and San Francisco, the rest of the state is pretty much red.
Yeah, if you're removed from the coast or a major city, you're you're red.
It's pretty much red, yes.
And like, I'm from Fresno, California, which is smack dead center in the San Joaquin Valley, which means if you go to like the Bay Area, it's nothing but, you know, you have the Bay, you have a little bit of mountains, and you're cool, and then you have above the Bay, which is, you know, fucking a godforsaken place that we don't really go to unless we need to get to the
redwoods, man. Come on, that's where Caesar is.
Yeah, but we can't use them for wood, so we leave those redwoods alone. We don't touch them, and people live up there in the wilderness. It's fine. And then you go down the Central Coast, which is, you know, where you get like Big Sur and fucking Santa Cruz and all these nice ass, most beautiful places in the world. Then you get to Southern California, where you get to like Los Angeles, San Diego.
The cesspool. That's where the cesspool is.
You get everything you want, but right smack in the middle, there's a mountain range that splits it. Yeah, it splits the Central Coast. You get the Middle Valley, and then you get the mountains that pretty much take up the rest of the state for the eastern side. And I'm from that little middle part of Fresno, California, which they call the Bible Belt of California because, like I said, it always turns red. Now, Fresno is like, what, the 5th or 6th largest city in the state, and so there are people with some sense there, but at the same time, we're surrounded by a lot of rural farming towns and a bunch of racist rednecks.
And not to mention, you have Fresno State there, a college, and college towns usually, you know, for the most part, tend to have more educated people there, of course.
Right. Even though there was some guy who fucked a sheep on our campus, but we don't bring that up.
Who doesn't?
It was a school-sanctioned sheep. It was not fair.
Wait. Stop. Rewind. Schools sanctioned sheep?
Yeah, they have a fucking farm. They have an agricultural department, so they keep certain animals. Okay. And they have like a winery and shit. It's really dope. The wine's really good.
I thought you meant like the school said like, we're gonna have a sheep, and he's sanctioned by us, like just a sheep.
Oh no. I'm talking about no. It was a group of sheep. It wasn't just one sheep. It's like, yeah, we're the Fresno State Bulldogs, but here's our sheep.
Exactly. That's what it made it sound like. Oh, we have a sanctioned sheep. Like,
he's on the recruitment videos and he's on the pamphlets. Come see our sheep. We're not that simple-minded. Jesus Christ, dude.
Look,
that sounds more like a College of Nigeria promotional video. Come see our sheep. Welcome.
Listen, that's not far off, and not to mention that actually sounds like something more from A&M because, you know, they're the agricultural college and they did clone Dolly the sheep there. So
that is true.
Yeah. So so we have the Middle Valley, we have the mountains, we have the West Coast, the actual coast. So if we were to cut everything off, you get no more funding, no more federal funding. So, and you say the 6th largest economy. So how would, when it comes to like, I guess, legislature or the people, I mean, how would they do that? Because remember, when you become your own country, you have to deal with other countries on your own. Right. So you have to have treaties with other countries, Canada, treaties with the U.S. And I'm guessing if you leave the U.S., they might be like crazy ex-girlfriends and be like, well, fuck you, we're going to make all these bad treaties.
Okay, we don't need shit from the rest of the states. Let's put it that way. Let's start there first. There is nothing that any of these other states have that we need. If you could think of something, I'll challenge you on it. But no, seriously, what does Arizona have? What does New Mexico have? What does North Dakota have? Fuck the Grand Canyon. We don't need that shit.
That
It's
is a
dry up in
beautiful
the
hole
next
in the
70
ground.
years because of global warming, or it might overflow because of global warming. Who knows? But what do they have besides fucking national parks, which we have like 17 of them or some shit?
Mm-hmm.
What do the other states have?
I'm seriously trying to sit and think here because
Metal? No, they don't have metals. We have metal.
yeah. And honestly, if you really sit and think about it, and I'm just here spitballing, California, if it did become a country of its own, the influence it would have on the rest of the world would be huge. And not because of the resources and things like that, is because of Southern California. You have Hollywood.
We have
And
Hollywood.
the number one export of the United States is media.
Right.
Everyone watches our shit.
No,
So basically, if you were to leave, California would have a say on everything else that goes on.
Well, we're not even going to start there because I pulled up the number. I was like, well, how much does media output for California? It generates $293.8 billion to our economy.
Yeah.
Just media. And so of that, it's publishing and printing, entertainment generally, digital media, visual performing arts, fashion, communication arts, furniture and decorative arts, toys, architecture, performing arts, art galleries, and industrial design. So those jobs we're a haven for that. So imagine some kid who's from New York and is like, man, I went to Juilliard, I did all this stuff, I'm going to try to make it. Oh man, New York's a little crowded, I got to go to California. Fuck that, you got to pay all sorts of fees to come inside and to try to be successful.
You have to get a working visa now if they succeed.
Right. You got to get a working visa, and we're going to make it hard as shit for you to do it because you guys wanted to fuck around and kick us out. Okay, so what else do people need? What else do we need to live?
Just like oil, probably
Oil.
of right now. Unless you're going to be the first country to go say fuck it, we're going full renewable, which would be cool.
I'll start from the beginning. We have fucking offshore drilling. We have some of the most oil that we just don't touch because we'd ruin all our fucking wilderness if we got to it right away.
Yeah.
If we didn't do it smart. But we have just as much as Texas. I mean, Texas just don't give a shit about the environment, so they'll pump out the shit. And they'll just export it, and that's why gas is so fucking cheap here. But California is like, okay, maybe we should think about fucking polar bears and shit. Maybe we shouldn't just be drilling all willy nilly. But we could if we needed to, and we have the reserves, and we could do it.
Do you think the state would though? I think they wouldn't. I think they double down on renewables.
But you're gonna have at least 20 years where you're gonna need fossil fuels to develop the technology, and so. What they would do is they would be like, all right, they've already committed to being clean energy place. We already have wind turbines, dam power. We have wind power, like I just said. I'm trying to think of other ones, solar power.
You have Elon Musk. That's energy on its own.
And I'm not, see, there's so many parts of this because, okay, so you have entertainment, so you have money coming in. Mm-hmm. You have technology. You have Apple. You have, which is the 9th largest company by revenue in the United States, and that's like working in the United States, beaten only by ExxonMobil and Walmart for a U.S.-born company. And then at number 12, you have McKesson Healthcare, which they make pills and shit out of San Francisco. So 2 of the top 15 largest companies by revenue in the world, or at least in the Fortune 500, are in California. And the only one that's that's in California, or rather not in California, but in the United States, is Walmart in Arkansas, that's based in Arkansas, and ExxonMobil, which is in Irving. But other than that, 2 of them are in California.
True. So you're right, Sammy. All the numbers you're laying down here, economically, you guys got that down pat. What about military-wise?
I'm glad you asked. Well, we have one of the largest naval bases in the world. It's San Diego. So if you want to fuck with, if we were just gonna say like, hey, we get to keep our ships. Oh no, you can't have our ships. All right, we'll take 70% because 30% of those people will be like, I'm gonna go to the U.S. of A, and the 70% will defect because they get all the cool shit, and we're gonna pay them better. So not only do we have a bunch of naval bases, we have a bunch of prisons in case people want to act up, but.
Yeah, we have stop. You can't gloss over that, Sammy. We have a bunch of prisons.
Yeah, we got San Quentin. We got what's it, Lemoore State Prison. We got all this shit.
You gonna open up Alcatraz again or what?
Might as well. I mean, if people start acting up, you need to fucking teach them a lesson.
What do you mean people start acting up? What do you mean? Like, what do you mean acting up?
Well, because there's gonna be people that don't want to secede from California, of course. There's gonna be people like, no, we gotta be for the U.S. of A. only, and you guys are traitors. And if they want to start acting up, then we fucking be like, all right, either leave, or if you're trying to be violent against us, we're going to imprison you, and you're going to go fuck yourself, and you're going to rot away in a prison.
California
But beside
know how
the
to
point,
do riots. Yeah.
but beside the point, California, I'm just looking at the research right here for how I was asking how much of the military do they have, and we offer 190,160 military people, which is the most offered by the U.S. military, and the next is Texas. So with 170, so we're beating by 20,000 people.
So now my question would be is, what about like National Guard? Because here's the thing. I'm guessing that military, the U.S. would be like, okay, so they would have the question of, do we stay as a Californian military or do we leave? Because the U.S. can come and say, fine, you have the military personnel. We're taking all of our shit, though. Like, we're taking our ships, we're taking our bases, we're going to strip everything bare.
Come get it.
Thing. So you have to build it from scratch, which
come get it. No, we're keeping it. No, see, my thing is, if California's going to do it, then the states aren't going to let them do it, and I'll get to that in a moment. The states won't do it, so they're not going to get that vote. And so what was the other one? So it was either violence or revolution.
It was either revolution. The states let them go. The states let them go. Like this, the three was you ask and they said sure. You vote, like 3/4 of the states vote and 2/3 of Congress say yes. Or the third one is Civil War. Civil War 2.
Yeah. No, it's not even Civil War. It'd just be, hey, we're gonna take all this really good land, and then they're gonna be shooting. They're gonna try to send people to beat us into submission, but like I said, we have mountain ranges, we have the fucking ocean, we have a fuck ton of military stuff that we're just gonna be like, all right, you gotta come get it. And so they would have to travel all this way. Like I said, Texas is the next biggest one. They gotta travel 2 states down. It's a lot of fuel. They're using a lot of energy. And so, you know what? And in this hypothetical situation where it gets violent, I wouldn't be, I'm not gonna say I wouldn't be against it. I would be against it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the cartel was like, hey, we got all the CIA money that they've been funneling us. Do you guys need weapons?
No.
And do you need weapons and people to fight with you? Just make sure that we can sell you drugs in your state, and we'll provide fucking soldiers. And then you get
the cartel, dude.
And then you get a bunch of Mexican cartel dudes chopping off people's balls and sticking them in their mouth, and that's scary. People don't want to fight that. Nobody wants to fight monsters. That's why the cartel's so fucking scary in Mexico. That's why I'm fucking terrified of the cartels, because they don't give a shit.
They don't give a shit.
And like I said, if you're trying to secede, if it's getting violent and a lot of Californians are dying, you will turn to the people who got money and who got weapons.
But
and they share a border with 2 of the other states, 3 of the other states. So like it's like, okay, we're gonna get our troops. We're gonna give you safe passage through Mexico. So you could put troops, and you could go through Mexico and fire through Mexico to Texas. Because Texas would be the stronghold. It'd be Texas and New York, and I don't think New Yorkers would like want to be violent. They would obviously get deployed, but New Yorkers would be like, "Yeah, fuck this shit. Just let them go."
This shit.
Yeah,
true, but then also that opens up that actually opens up something else where, because you're a new state or a new country, I guess, a sovereign nation, that would make you susceptible to maybe outside powers. Do you feel it's a very high possibility that maybe the cartel could come by and you guys could be like Mexico Junior?
Well, that's a huge possibility, but at the same time, we have a lot of money in terms of like technology and stuff. No, we have a lot of money in terms of technology. So like, my thing is like, fucking what's his name? Tim Cook becomes like Secretary General of Intelligence or whatever, and he starts hacking iPhones and shit. And he's like, all right, these cartel members are using iPhones. Well, we know where to track them, and we know what they're doing. We listen to their conversations because we don't play by the same rules. We're not going to have the same constitution as the United States, that old piece of paper. But
so you're saying like, hack the iPhone. So pretty much you're saying California either becomes a cartel state or a police state.
No, I'm not saying for our enemies. I'm saying that like we'll have to obviously listen to the Geneva Convention, but if we're trying to defend ourselves, we're going to be like, yeah, of course we're going to hack into their cell phones. Are you kidding me? We're a new state. We have to survive somehow. We need this shit to be successful. And the cartel is mean. So
on the t-shirt, Sammy. The cartel is mean.
I mean, my thing was just be nice to them and be like, hey, you could sell your drugs here. Just don't run guns. And you know what? Now that we've softened the blow for the rest of the United States because they're fucking around trying to fight you, you guys can go in with your drugs into those states and make your money there. That's the main thing would be. It was just that we would let them sell their shit there, and then they would soften up the rest of the United States because they would be using their military and their police forces to fight us, trying to get their military back, even though there would be no point to that.
True. I mean, that is true. I mean, So how would you feel that, who would you feel would be the best candidate to be like, as of right now, of California citizens that you know, would be the upper government, like the president, or would it be separated into states, like the counties? Would they be states now, or who would you feel would be president of California?
I'll take fucking Schwarzenegger again. Fuck it. No, I'm kidding. He was a sweet. He wasn't a great governor, but he didn't blow everything up, which was nice. And in retrospect, he has a better climate policy than our current president, which is even funnier. But
it's ironic. Isn't John Brown like a huge Democrat kind of thing?
Oh no, I'm not talking about John Brown. I'm talking about Schwarzenegger right now is fighting for climate change harder than our own fucking president.
True. Well, yeah.
Which makes no goddamn sense if you were to ever tell somebody from the 80s that, hey, do you know that Arnold Schwarzenegger is going to have a better economic, global,
policy than Donald Trump?
Pollution policy than our president, who's also Donald Trump.
Here's the thing, though.
The president of the 80s would be like, are you fucking on drugs right now? What are you saying?
Not even that. The first person would be like, wait a minute, you let this guy be governor? Well,
yeah, the first thing would be like, wait, you let this guy be governor? Wait, you let that guy be president?
President? Exactly. Well,
random
kind of went sideways in the 2010s.
Yeah, we gave one black guy power and shit went wild. But like, it's so okay. But then here's the other thing that you also have to keep into account, and this is very close to me because I am from the Central Valley, and the Central Valley produces the most food out of all the other states.
Your oranges are yummy.
No, yeah, but no, fuck oranges. You're like, oranges are good. Oranges come from fucking Florida.
No,
Idaho potatoes.
Yeah. No,
Idaho potatoes. And then what else? What else do other states have?
Avocado. No, that's from
Texas.
They say avocados from Mexico, but I know avocados come from California.
They have Texas toast, which is all right. They have
the first thing that came to your mind was Texas toast, Sammy.
I mean, they have Arizona fucking bitterness, I guess. That's
Arizona tea. They got the Arizona.
Sure, let's go with that. Okay, Arizona.
You said Texas toast.
Texas toast, Arizona iced tea, New England clam chowder. There you go.
Sure.
But like, I'm looking at it. We produce 90% of the broccoli grown in the United States. So you have no broccoli.
Well, that means children over the United States would thank you.
We produce 99% of artichokes, 99% of walnuts, 97% of kiwis, 97% of plums, 95 celery, 95 garlic, 89 cauliflower, 71 spinach, 69 carrots.
Okay.
So our yields for crops, we next to Iowa is number 2, but we're number 1. We generate, what was this, 44.7 billion in cash revenue based on our food exports, which is 11.3%.
You say that, and with you saying those numbers, which are actually very daunting numbers, I feel that if that were to go on, like California were to leave, and let's say we were both to be butthurt, the U.S. and California were like, well, fuck you, and California's like, well, fuck you. I feel we'd start saying, hey, Mexico, how you doing?
And you guys are pissing off
food there.
And you guys are pissing off Mexico by trying to make tariffs and make things more expensive and build a wall. And so you're gonna be like, yeah, your avocados are now $70. Fuck you.
Why are we hating on Mexico? Mexico's cool. Well, other than the cartels.
Mexico doesn't want to deal with this goddamn bullshit, Donald Trump bullshit.
I understand that.
So they're not gonna be, if they're like, okay, you want to build a wall, fine. All your avocados, I think you get avocados, grapes, and a bunch of the other produce in Texas, from Mexico because it's closer. You get your shrimp from Mexico. You get it from all this shit. They're gonna raise the prices on everything if you keep treating them like shit.
That's what it is. The shit rolls downhill, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to the store. This apple costs $5. Wait, what? Exactly.
Right. I mean, we generate 6.9 billion in milk, grapes, almonds, strawberries, lettuce, walnuts, tomatoes. We're generating billions of dollars in those industries. Imagine like 10% of milk going away. Imagine like
I'm lactose intolerant, so you know.
I'm just saying, but imagine how much dairy products, cheese, and all that shit.
True.
Imagine beef. We export beef and pork. We generate so much food. We generate like I want to get like let's see. Like
I have a quick
go
aside.
ahead.
Just a really quick aside. You talk about beef. Have you seen what's been going on? I'm sorry, folks, but have you seen what's going on on Facebook with Danielle and this whole beef thing? Have you seen that?
Okay, for those of you, I saw that real quick. And for those of you who don't know, co-host of mine on the show Double Toasted, Danielle, she, or of ours rather, I'm not saying she's my co-host, not my shit, but she's on the show with me. She, I guess, saw that one documentary that came out. What's it called?
Oja.
No. That's not a documentary. That's a mythical story.
I know, but I'm thinking like, maybe she thought it was a documentary. I don't know.
No. There's a one going around. It's about like vegan. It's a veganism type of documentary.
Oh, okay, all right.
Look it up real quick so I can get the name. Vegan documentary on Netflix. It'll give it to me right now because Google's pretty smart. What the Health? There it is.
Oh, okay.
So I think she might have watched that, and which I just saw like this really biting piece from an actual doctor that was watching it and commenting it like live. Shit was hilarious. Point being, she was like, "We should start worrying about what." Where our food comes from because it's violent and this and that, and it's gonna, it's cruel and this and that, and we can't be mean to animals. And so then Corey Goodwin, in all of his fucking little catty bitchiness, was like,
"It was the best comeback, though. It really
it wasn't a good comeback because it was just snarky and bitchy. Like, don't be snarky and bitchy. Just like, okay, let her say what she wants to say, and just like let her think it. It's not hurting you. She's saying, "Hey, let's be nice to animals." It's not an outrageous thing to say. It's just that she got it based on out of fact.
It's not. But then, like, you literally sit and said, like, one. I didn't read all the comments. I just read one, and one of them said, like, "But Danielle, you wear leather."
Right, and so what? Who gives a shit? Leather is fucking good, but you know what? Let's hope the leather. I mean, it's not, but let's hope the leather is. They kill them properly. They're not fucking torturing them and putting their nutsacks on these dead animals. Like, let's hope they're not doing that. I mean, they probably are because you watch those PETA videos and it's like a bunch of fucking rednecks kicking chickens before they get
Sarah McLachlan in the background. Yeah, it's
that's a ASPCA, but whatever, you're close. ASPCA isn't kicking dogs, but like, people have their opinions on shit, and you know what? Let them have their opinions, and if it's scientifically wrong, show them where it's scientifically wrong. Don't just make snarky comments. I don't like that. I don't like that type of like argument, because then it's gonna be like, well, okay, you're right, and then nothing gets done, and now she says, you know what? Fine, we're gonna let animals get the shit kicked out of them, and we're gonna let them continue to be treated poorly.
No, I still say that you're right. Danielle did make a valid point, but it's never, it's like, it's about 80% of how you say it and 20% of what you said.
And we know,
like, and we know how she says shit. Like, well,
and we know how she says shit. And he, Mr. Snarky Pants, should have known above everybody how she speaks, and to not even fucking be inflammatory about it, because it's just like, okay, she's saying crazy shit. When doesn't she say crazy shit? I don't know. I was just like, you know what? Everyone likes jumping on Danielle, and it's just like, okay, it's easy, but be clever about it, okay?
No, but because I will say this. Sometimes Danielle will say, like, she'll say some crazy stuff, and then she'll say something. You're like, oh wow, that was actually really insightful. Like, she has her moments, she really does. But I just found this one a bit entertaining.
Like, let me see. Like, I'm gonna go back to it. I think she left it up. Let's see. Hopefully, she left it up. Here it is. Yeah, I'll read it for you guys in case you don't have us on Friends or if you don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Why does no one care about the meat and dairy industries are doing to our environment and bodies? The more I learn about these industries, the more I understand why vegans preach and preach. Besides the horrible health problems meat and dairy are causing all of us, the physical and emotional torture cows and hens go through is unbelievable. But hey, it's delicious and everything is bad for you. I dare you to educate yourself and learn the facts about meat and dairy. You will be mortified. I sincerely encourage everyone to learn about the poison you're putting into your body, and even worse, your children's bodies. I'm sorry, but I am not sorry I preach about this, because I don't want to see any of my friends and family suffer from the horrible health problems 100% caused by dairy and meat. And so,
wasn't that all in caps?
I mean, no, it was just horrible was in caps. That was it.
Okay, I thought it was all in caps. I thought I saw it all in caps. My bad.
Okay. No. But so, like, what she's saying, I mean, she's been vegetarian and she's been
not wrong. Yeah.
No, she's been a vegetarian for so much, and so she saw something with some new information, and was like, okay, there's, that's what she believes. It's on her personal Facebook page, and there's people that are like, being vegan isn't the only answer. Getting food from other sources isn't that difficult, and I'll never give up meat. People just being like, okay, you have an opinion, I have an opinion, and then it's just like, okay, that's her opinion, and you're gonna give your opinion, and okay.
Is Goodwin the one that started it, or did someone else start talking?
Well, no, there was a lot of people. There was a lot of people commenting, and so Goodwin goes, "So I'm assuming you're gonna stop wearing makeup, drinking coffee, and make your own clothes because all of those industries also exploit something: animals, people, or land." And it's like, okay, yeah, but she's not saying that. She's saying, hey, meat and dairy may not be the best things for you, which in some instances, biologically, for some people, it's not the best for you. And especially the way they prepare this stuff, like I said, from the Central Valley, it's not always the cleanest. I mean, they can glue meat products together and call it a slab of a steak. Like, I know what goes into our food. It's not the prettiest thing, but I completely understand it. All she's saying is have a critical eye to it and be aware of what's going in your milk and how they're getting the milk and shit like that. I mean,
she's right, but I feel that when the way she started out the comment was look how they're treating the animals to get your food, like treatment. I think that was the number one. Those other things to it, of course, what you put into your body, what they put into the food, what you put into your body, things like that. But I think I feel that her number one, again, I'm extrapolating. I haven't even read the whole thing. The first time I heard it is when you read it to me. But I feel that her number one thing was the treatment of animals, and this is why it's bad. And I think they just they just came back with, if you're worried about the treatment of animals because of food, there are other things that you like and that you use that also has bad treatment of animals.
Right, but let's just put it into context. Putting makeup on monkeys isn't as bad as fucking slicing their throats and skinning them for leather and shit like that. I mean, yeah, she wears leather, but you know what?
She wear monkey leather?
No, I'm saying, but you know, they say like they test, for like makeup, whatever. Like makeup, they test on animals and like the chemical reactions and see if anybody burns or some shit. It's a whole big thing. But like, and I'm not gonna speak like I know about those parts of things, but it's like, if you're gonna go to that extreme, then all right, I guess everyone's got to make their own clothes, and everyone's got to pick their own cotton to make their own clothes, and then everyone's got to harvest their own honey so they can have good food, and no one should ever eat fucking store-bought chicken, or no one could eat fish because
it's not being gatherers and hunters in the wilderness,
right?
Kind of thing. Yeah.
And it's like, okay, she has the right to be upset about the way animals are treated in the fucking farm worker or in the farming industry because they're not treated the greatest. Me, I personally don't care, but that's her opinion.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, well, if we're gonna take it to that extreme, that's not an argument. That doesn't make any sense in the context that she's saying. She's saying, hey, we should pay attention to these industries are doing to the environment, which is like tearing up a bunch of fucking natural, nature reserves for space. And then, if you're eating a bunch of fucking steaks, you're going to get fucking cholesterol and die. So, it don't make sense. It's just like, it's her opinion. And I don't think anybody should care that much about it or try to put her down because she had an opinion where it's like, hey, take care of yourself and let's not torture animals. Like that's the biggest, easiest argument to take. It's like, hey, let's not be dick to animals. Yeah, okay.
That's true. Wow. Wait, Sammy coming at it with his knowledge.
I mean, look, she could be wrong. I think she could be wrong, but the end thing that she's saying is like, hey, let's not be dicks to animals. And it's like, I'm gonna wear leather. I'm gonna wear leather. I don't care. I'm gonna eat steak. I'm gonna eat chicken. I mean, by the time it's in my fridge, it's already been done. It's like it's whatever. And like I said, and that's because I'm from California. To tie it back, I'm from California where I was down the street from the fucking cows that got slaughtered. Not necessarily down the street, but like Foster Farms is like a big produce generating produce.
Oh yeah, they make eggs. I think I have some of their eggs. Yeah,
yeah, Foster Farms eggs. They have all these the eggs and milk and this and that, and their fucking home bases are maybe like 60 miles from me at furthest, 40 miles from where I live. And so when all the big brand company stuff is technically organic and locally grown, because it's not going that far, I mean, I had that luxury, and living in California, a lot of us have that luxury. Our avocados don't come from Mexico; they come from California. Our tomatoes, our grapes come from literally as far as you could take it, maybe like a 10-hour drive, really, or if you fly it over, even less than that. So, I mean, I know where my food comes from, and I've had that luxury. And people in California, we have the most food. Arizona has no food. They don't grow anything.
They have sand and rocks.
Yeah, the fucking New England, they can't grow anything, or fucking Maine, it's all rocks. The East Coast is just rocks, and I know New York surprised me because they have farms.
Oh yeah,
but not enough to fucking sustain an entire. Yeah, but they can't sustain a nation. Okay, we're gonna go to Idaho. Their earth can't do a lot of like the more delicate things like avocados and shit like that. So. It's just because they have to chemicalize the earth and make it sustainable for these other things, and it's just our earth is better.
So
It's
with
just
that, any closing thoughts on California and how I'm guessing California is badass and seceding wouldn't be so bad for them? Any closing thoughts on that, Sammy?
The closing thought would be, I forgot to bring one more point up that's also a huge thing.
Please do.
We're talking about energy, and so it's like, okay, even right now, we are generating so much solar and wind power energy that we have to give it away to other states because we don't have the batteries, and the technology for the batteries isn't enough to keep them and maintain them. We're giving Arizona, those rat bastards. I'm sorry, I have a vendetta against Arizona.
Where did they touch you, Sammy? Where did Arizona touch you?
I'll tell you in just a second, but no, we're giving them free electricity that's subsidized by our taxpayer dollars. And I read that from California. I go, what the fuck are you doing? Just make our fucking electricity costs go down in the cities that you're generating it, and save us some time. Fuck the rest of the fucking country. Fuck them.
But money, Sam. Money.
No, they're not they're giving it away. They're not making money. They're giving it away. They're not selling it to Arizona. If they were selling it to Arizona, yeah, make them fucking pay for this energy that we harvested from all of our solar panels because we decided to get with the fucking times. But the reason why I bother with Arizona is because Arizona, just what I've seen now, if there's going to be an Arizona listener getting all mad and shit, but the Mexicans there are weird because they vote for Republicans. They vote for Republicans.
They're weird.
They vote for Republicans that don't serve their best interest. John McCain is from Arizona, I found out. And I'm like, John McCain, let me make sure that's right.
Yeah, he's a senator from Arizona, yes.
Yeah, John McCain has a fucking brain tumor now. Now, I hope he gets better, and I hope it's not the end of him. I really don't. I don't wish ill on him at all.
Yeah.
He's a war veteran. I respect him by all means. But his policies, even before all that shit, they didn't make any sense for people of color. They didn't make any sense. The governor that's in there now, he was like, you know what, we're gonna make it to where we can ask anybody for their fucking papers.
Oh yeah, that ID law, whatever.
Yeah. A fucking ID law. That means that they can go up to me, a U.S. citizen, and say, where are your papers? And I have to have ID on me, or else they'll deport me or they'll detain me. What kind of fucking stupid shit is that?
Is that sheriff still there, like Maricopa County? You know that sheriff that
that crazy motherfucker. Yeah, and the fact that they let him even have any sort of power there, and that they're like, man, this guy's a badass. He makes prisoners wear pink and make them do slave labor for super cheap. Like
what?
Look,
what?
Yeah, that you're talking about the crazy.
No, I know about
sheriff.
that guy, but I didn't. Yeah, he did. Wear pink.
I want to say that's like one of the things he did because he's like the one that's like super hard on criminals, right?
Yeah.
I think in one of his prisons he made them all wear pink on the side of the road while they're picking up trash.
That's honestly, that's cruel and unusual punishment. I think that's against the Constitution.
Well, wearing the color pink's not cruel and unusual. It's
unusual.
I mean, it's just silly. I mean, if you want to argue it, it's silly. Like honestly, I mean, if you want to get into the politics of it, pink is a gendered color, and therefore you can't really be cruel and unusual if girls wear pink. And how is it offensive? Which is weird because the social justice
female inmates wouldn't be wearing pink. Even if it was female inmates wearing pink, that'd still be unusual.
I'm just saying that's a weird time where that fucking Republican would use a social justice warrior's argument for his cause. But
yeah.
But and then secondly, I had a bad experience in Arizona. The first time I drove to Austin for actually the launch party for Double Toasted, the company I work for now. We drove through to Arizona, and they're checking everyone coming in, and I was driving in. And I was like, oh shit, it's my turn to drive. I don't know what to do. And so I roll up and they go, are you an American citizen?
Oh, Jesus.
And like two parts of me in my head was like, sí, señor. But I didn't want to fucking take 3 more hours of detainment.
Sammy, no.
Right. So I was like, yes, I am. In the most American voice I could.
Of course.
But the thing that pissed me off was that I was like, I looked at his name tag and I obviously looked at the color of his skin. And I was like, he goes, are you an American citizen? And I was almost like, I don't know, are you an American citizen? Officer Sanchez? What the fuck's the matter with you? How's a Mexican going to tell me if I'm a citizen when he looks
if
more...
you were to say that, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Yeah, I mean, I would have got my ass kicked and they would have gave me fucking $3 because that's all that fucking state has because they're stealing all our energy and taking all our good shit. But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is that these other states, Texas got great barbecue and cheap gas. What else do they got? Institutionalized.
They have agriculture.
Institutionalized racism.
True.
The crops aren't as good.
California has that too. Don't come on now.
The crops aren't as good in
California
Texas.
has institutionalized racism too. Don't even start with that one, Sammy.
Right, but the thing is, given a clean slate, they'd put that shit aside. Given a clean slate, they put that shit aside.
Okay.
There's more Mexicans there, and I get the historical.
There's more Mexicans in Texas too.
Yeah, but the white people run it.
And the white people run California too.
Yeah, but they're cool hippie white people.
Did you not see Get Out?
Jerry Brown was the dude who was like, yeah, Trump's doing all this bullshit. Fuck him. He didn't say that, but not so many words. After Trump got elected, he was like, we're going to stay the course for being
all those cool white people also said, yeah, I voted for Obama, and I wish he had 4 more years, too.
Yeah, and you know what? Racism is going to exist to some extent, but at the same time, they're not fucking doing all sorts of crazy shit where it's like, it's all in northern Texas. It's all in like Lubbock and shit, where it's always like some kid got bullied and called the N-word because she was black, or this
more East Texas, but I see where you're coming from.
This teacher was gonna be is in northern Texas, where she was like, you're gonna be most likely to be a terrorist. Like that was that teacher.
Oh, yeah. No, I think that was actually in Houston here.
Like so California, all we do is fuck our teachers. I mean, that's bad.
Well, that's everywhere. That's a national epidemic right there.
Right, and there's one time the local high school when I was in high school, a substitute teacher smoked pot with the students, but that's more hilarious hijinks than anything. But see. You guys fucking make terrorists out of students. We get them high. So
that's true.
Priorities, folks. Priorities.
That's true. And thank you for coming on, Sammy. I'm glad you came on.
One more thing. If you say we don't got water, El Nino helped us out, and water desalination is a thing. It's fucking difficult, but we can get it done. We have water. Fuck you.
Okay, sure. Okay, you're right. Yeah, aquifers too. Don't forget the aquifers.
Yep.
Yep. So, Sammy, please, if people want to get in contact with you in the many ways they can, please tell them how they can do that.
What you do is you go to your local record store, go to Section D, and look for Los Del Rio, go to track 7, and hope it's the Macarena. Pull out the album, stick your finger in the hole, and whisper your question to me, and I'll be able to answer it there.
That's very true. That's very true. But for those who don't have record stores around them, even if they still exist, because not all of them live in Hipsterville, Austin, how else could they get in contact with you?
You can get in contact with me. Just remember the name, The Mexcellence. And if you don't know how to spell The Mexcellence, you don't know how to spell excellence, because it's TheMexcellence. If you search that, you'll be able to find me on pretty much everything. That includes Instagram. That includes Snapchat. That also includes Twitter. And you can find me at Sammy Gonzalez DT on Facebook. And you can also find me on doubletoasted.com, because I am an affiliate and an employee of doubletoasted.com, where you can find my show, Sammy Ain't Seen Shit, every Thursday live at 7 p.m. or around that time, and on YouTube on Fridays at 5 p.m. Go ahead and check out the last show I just did, which was The Fifth Element, and leave a comment, like that shit, and hopefully I'll get paid from that. And that's what it's all about.
True. And if you guys loved what we're doing, which I know you are, because that's why you're listening, you can always come and see us on YouTube. Just search for The What If Podcast, comment below, like, subscribe, say anything you want. Sammy has comments on his shows. They're pretty funny. For some odd reason, they really have a hate hard-on for Ian, but that's beside the point.
Because he's a white devil.
We're also on SoundCloud. Yes, I know recently SoundCloud's been kind of going through some trouble, but we're still on SoundCloud. So you just go on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/thewhatifcast. You can also email me. Our email address is thewhatifcast@gmail.com. That is thewhatifcast@gmail.com. We're on Twitter. If you can only talk to me in 160 characters, just go to @the_whatifcast. We're on Instagram. I don't think I've actually put any pictures on Instagram yet, but we're on there. So add us, and maybe I might put a picture. Who knows? Just look for What If Podcast, and on Facebook, search for What If Podcast. The Mexcellence.
Yes.
It was an honor having you on my show, and I want to thank you. I know we kind of had a few misstarts, and I kind of missed the time, but we finally got it. We finally got it through, didn't we? So yeah.
And thank you, and I appreciate it. And I also want to mention that everything that Sammy Gonzalez has just said may or may not be a representation of how Sammy Gonzalez feels, and he does not represent Double Toasted as a whole or as a unit. But mostly, I just say a lot of stupid shit for fun. So all that stuff about the cartels, I don't actually believe half of that. I'm just saying these are what if situations. This is the What If Podcast.
It is.
And so what if I was a giant douchebag? I don't know. You might have thought that during this show. And so yeah, follow me on the other stuff to see who I really am and to see how much of it was actually the truth.
A lot of it was the truth, ladies and gentlemen. But with that, thank you, everyone.
But what if it wasn't?
That's true. That might be a topic for another time.
Core
and
concept.
With that, I want to say goodbye to everyone and join us next time on the What If podcast. Say bye to everybody, Sammy.
Bye to everybody, Sammy.
This isn't the Animaniac, Sammy. Come on.
It's time for Animaniacs. We are zany to the max. So sit back and relax. We'll laugh till you collapse. We're Animaniacs.
Bye.